I did a video a couple months ago, tried to do a video about shot selection, and I kind of just dismissed it with, well, it's very subjective. And I talked a lot about how, my shot selection is going to be determined by my, ability at certain shots. And then a lot of people's are going to be the same way, and maybe, that's like the main criteria for it. And I guess I just forgot that there are some other things that should dictate shot selection. And a lot of times they can be, these are my first shots today, so I'm just going to try to hit some balls while I yammer here. Anyway, so if you take away, what you're good at, what are your abilities, say you have a couple of shots that are equally likely for you to make, you still have to make a decision, and you can flip a coin, I guess, in some cases, but usually that's not going to be the best way to do it. Usually there's going to be something else that is going to determine it. I'm just trying to think of, examples. I'm horrible examples, but I was still trying. And I came up with one from my deep, dark past, and then I came up with another one that was more recent. So this is what we're going to talk about here. Back when I was a league player, I played, mostly I played APA. I'm talking about right now when I was playing APA. I was the best player on whatever team I was on. So I was almost always the coach of whatever team I was on. And it makes sense, I guess. There was one team that I was on where the guy's wife, he got, she was a 2, I think she was a 2, and he was her coach. Perfectly fine, right? The guy was a good player, he was a good 6. It's like, fine, you want to coach your wife? That's absolutely fine. There was a situation that came up once though. They were playing 8-ball. And it's this girl's shot. And she's got stripes. And if you've played a kind of league for any length of time that includes beginners, you're going to realize that, well, in this case, every APA 2 and 3 on planet Earth, if they have stripes right now, they're going to shoot this 9-ball. Absolutely the wrong shot in this situation. And if you've played, you kind of know this. You're going to shoot the 9, then you're going to shoot the 11 or the 15 in the side, most likely, and then you're going to be fucked on the 8. You're probably going to call timeout and go, quick, how do I bank this 8? Or how do I kick this 8? Absolutely the wrong thing to do. And the guy that was the coach for this girl, he knew this. But she's there, and she's warming up for this, and this guy is just obviously just not, he's purposefully not paying any attention to her at all. None at all. Of course, she shot the 9 in, easy shot. From here, she shot the 15 in, easy shot. Let the key ball probably about like that. And then it's like, timeout, how do I kick this 8 in? Everybody in the damn bar knew this is what was going to happen as soon as she started lining up for that 9 ball. After the match that this girl lost, because of that, I'm talking to my buddy who was supposed to have been coaching her. I'm like, dude, what's up? Why didn't you coach her? Why didn't you tell her that she was shooting the wrong shot? He's like, oh, well, we haven't been getting along really well lately, so I just wanted to leave her alone. Okay, fine. Bring your personal problems to the league pool. That's fine. Whatever you got to do. Didn't have like it, don't like it. One of the things that I always hated about coaching in league were things like, quick, how do I make this shot? How do I bank a ball? How do I shoot a jump shot? That seemed to come up a lot when I was a coach. People would get hooked, and they would go, "Hey, can I borrow your break cue? And how do I make a break, or how do I make a jump shot?" Like, dude, too late for that. Too late for me to teach you how to do something like that. That is mostly feel anyway. Kind of thing drove me crazy, and I kind of got to the point where if someone would hook themselves or whatever, and they would want that type of advice, how do I shoot a bank shot? How do I shoot a 3-row kick shot, whatever? I would tell them, no, let's save the timeout. You only got so many timeouts. Let's save it for something that could actually make a damn difference. This is one of those cases where a timeout would absolutely 100% have made a difference. This girl was faced with this situation. This 15, I'm sure, okay, the 15 is a harder shot than the 9. We'll grant that. But it's still not that hard of a shot. And the way these balls are laid out, I think everybody can probably pretty much see that you could have a beginner level player, and if the beginner level player can put this 15 in the pocket, they're going to get a shot at the 9 in this corner pocket. It is going to happen. Then they've got an easy shot on the 9, with leads to easy shape on the 8. Like I said, everybody in the damn room knew this. Even the guy that was purposely not coaching her. And she lost the game. She ended up losing that match. I'm sure that really helped their relationship out a lot. For me, that's the kind of situation that coaching should be used for, and is best used for in league situations like that. You get a beginner that gets on a league team or whatever, whether it's because their boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or whatever is on the team, or maybe they legitimately want to become a better player, they're not going to learn nearly as much by, hey, how do I bank this one specific shot? They're not going to learn nearly as much with stuff like that as they are by being able to think about the game situation, the pattern that they were just faced with. And if this girl had been coached correctly, I bet 9 times out of 10 she was going to win that game just by shooting that 15 first instead of the 9. Maybe even better than that, because she wasn't the worst player in the world. She could shoot straight. She just wasn't thinking about her strategy right, and her coach wasn't helping her with her strategy in that situation. Drove me nuts. That kind of thing just always just drove me nuts. We're not, as better players on the league teams, we are not there to teach people how to shoot a shot in the middle of the game. How to shoot a shot is what you do in practice, what you do in some kind of, of a lesson type of a scenario, not in the middle of a game in league. And so that's my 2 cents on that. And this was 20 years ago. I'm almost over it by now. The other situation that I had was much more recent, and I thought that I had talked about this, but I couldn't find it. I looked at some old videos and couldn't find it. There was an 8-ball tournament in October. I won the tournament. My very first match, I played a girl that she was a league player, and I didn't really know her. I knew there were some league players that were in this tournament. Probably didn't take her, well, it turned out I didn't take her as seriously as I should have, because she was a damn good shooter, as accurate as anybody in the tournament. Her speed control, everything that she did was just really, really good, except one thing. She had a situation where's the damn, I don't think it matters where the 8 was in this case, and there were absolutely other balls around. But she had something like this shooting stripes. Again, there are other balls around, but they're all kind of wide open. And this girl's she's a good shooter. She made a stripe. You had to take whatever you made in this tournament. So she's stripes. Yeah, she's sending something like this. Other balls, and I think everybody that was at least a decent player in the room could see this was going to be a problem for her. Doing something with that 9, either getting the cue ball over here and running it straight down the rail, or getting the cue ball more or less exactly straight in and running it down that way. This was going to be a problem for her unless she broke it out. There was another ball on the table, which is kind of the whole point of the whole damn exercise. There was another ball. She had a ball out here in the middle. So anybody that was, again, a decent player would have known that her big chance to do something about this 9 was going to be to shoot the 10 off of the 9. Then you move the 9 from this stupid messed up position that it's sitting in and run out. And this girl was good enough to run out. She broke around the very first game on me, and then I think she broke dry and I ran out. Yeah, then I broke dry and she ran out. There was a lot of things like that happened. This girl was a very good player. It was kind of, at the end of the deal, I ended up winning the match, but at the end of the deal, I talked to her husband or boyfriend, maybe just a friend, and I didn't know her. I knew she was a league player. I said, she's a pretty strong 6, isn't she? And he's like, no, she's a 4. And I'm just thinking, if this chick's a 4, I'm real glad I don't play league anymore. Because as an APA 7 playing an APA 4, it's a 5-2 race. My money's on this girl playing me in a 5-2 race in 8-ball. Just the way it is. Anyway, what this girl ended up doing, she had other balls she could shoot. But this was kind of like where she was at the beginning of the game. And what she should have done is she should have shot this damn 14, maybe got a little bit better than I just did, maybe got something about like this, shot this 10 in off the 9, see if I can do that. There were other balls, made other balls, wins the game, victory parade and all that stuff. That's not what she did. It's not what she did. What she ended up doing is she ended up shooting this ball, I want to say she ended up about like this. She was almost lined up for this Karen. But until she cut the 9 down in the corner. She cut it down that way. She got it like that. Good shot, Dave. And then she made all of her other shots and ended up with about like this on that last damn ball. It was the 9 in real life on this. She tried this bank. She got a double kiss and scratched right here and left me ball in hand and I ran out. This was not a coaching situation. It was a tournament. There was no coaching. In fact, I even watched the guy, her boyfriend, husband, whatever, to make sure he wasn't, doing some kind of coaching or whatever when he saw her not shooting this Karen. He wasn't. And in reality, she's probably a better player than him anyway. But in that case, she had a very good opportunity to win that game and that match, but didn't even see it. I've talked to her since then, and I talked to her about that situation, that if she would have moved that damn 9 ball, she probably would have ran out. She probably would have won. But she didn't even, and she admitted she didn't even see it. Again, not a coaching situation, just a strategy situation, a shot selection situation. shooting a ball like this off the 15, shooting the 10 off the 15 in this case, is not that tough for as good of a player as this girl is. And really, even if it is tough, it's still the right shot to do. When you play an 8-ball, you don't want to get down to where the only shot you have left on the table is this shot. So even if this is a tougher shot, say I'm down here like this, you got to at least try to cut the 10 off to 15. Not shoot the 10 straight in. You got to try. And if you try and fail, then at least you try. I tried and failed, but at least I tried. At least I saw it. And I didn't leave myself that goofy ass bank. Those are the two examples that I have right now for shot selection, which don't really rely on, what are you good at? It's more just about what do you see and what is the right shot in a given situation. If I played a lot more 8-ball down here, or if I went and I watched the league players, I could come up with a lot of these damn examples. Because I know when I have been in there and have been watching the league people, I see something like this almost every match. Almost every match I will see what I believe is improper coaching, improper use of timeouts. And we got one guy down there at our local pool hall. He's a good 7. He shoots a lot like I used to shoot, where everything's going to go in. You can get shape on everything. It doesn't matter. The guy has not learned that there's such a thing as a hard shot yet. Eventually he will learn that, and then he'll have to start thinking about strategy and stuff. The thing is, when he's coaching his players, he's going at it with the mindset, well, you just make the shot. You just make this and draw back 8 feet. That's all you have to do. It's easy. I can do it all the time. But he can just, you know what I'm saying. He can do it, but his beginner level APA 3 player can't do it. It's just a matter of, I don't know, you have to have a little bit of common sense if you're going to be a coach, just like you have to have a little bit of common sense if you're going to be playing. And the more experience you get at playing, coaching, the more common sense you're going to have in those kinds of situations. This is what I think. I don't think I'm wrong, but I imagine most people that get up here in front of a camera on YouTube and spout out some opinion, I would imagine most of those people don't think they're wrong either. Some of them are wrong. I'm not. I'm right in this case.